for a keynote presentation by Mrs. Reshma Pense. Give a big hand to Mrs. Reshma Pense. Reshma Pense will be guiding us on the subject of cloud ERP for changing workforce, how AI and data reshaping business operations. Please be here for a moment. Mrs. Reshma Pense is a senior ERP and business transformation leader at Fortero India Abbas Private Limited, helping SME manufacturers improve efficiency through ERP, cloud, and AI-driven solutions. At ERP Expo 2026, she will share insights on maximizing ERP ROI and how emerging technologies are transforming manufacturing operations. So we welcome Mrs. Reshma Pense and request you to deliver your speech. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank Exponomics Events for inviting me here, but mainly for organizing this wonderful event for the ERP sector. I think it is much needed. So thank you very much. And thanks to everyone who has taken the time to be here today on a Saturday morning. Dhanyavad. So today I want to introduce you to somebody whom you probably know but have never met. This is Mr. Wankhede. Mr. Wankhede is a first-generation entrepreneur from Pune. 25 years ago, he started his first very small factory. Today, he has 3 plants supplying OEM components to some of the biggest automotive manufacturing companies in India. Alongside the domestic business, he has also explored the export market, and he sees that there's a great demand which he wants to capture. Now, looking at the scale of his business, around 7-8 years ago, Mr. Wankhede decided to invest in an ERP system. Wasn't cheap, took a long time. But today, if you ask him, how is his ERP working? You know what? I've got a very expensive invoicing system, is what he is very likely to say. So what happened? The promise of the ERP was better visibility, planning, control, scheduling. But the implementation happened, finance started using it, invoices were generated, GST returns were submitted. But production planning still remained on the shop floor. Whiteboards. Inventory, Excel sheets which match nothing on the floor. And quality issues for which there is no root cause analysis. So, does that mean Mr. Wankhede is a bad businessman? Certainly not. He's very successful. Let us be clear, his business is thriving. But he knows that what has got him here is not enough to get him to the next step. Now let me zoom out a little bit, because this is not the story of Mr. Wankhede. This is the story of the entire Indian MSME sector. 63 million MSME companies in India, contributing 30% of our GDP, generating 110 million jobs. And yet, what we see is hardly 20% of them have a real ERP powering their business. We talk today about competitiveness of Indian manufacturing in the global system. This is the differentiator. We are on the cusp of a technological revolution that is happening across the world. And if we want to compete globally, and if we want to succeed, we have no option but to adopt and leverage the technology that is in front of us. And the secret to that is to understand the power that ERP, AI, data, and cloud can bring into our businesses. Now, when we talk, before I go into the cloud and the AI and the data, it's very important for us to understand why exactly is ERP adoption so low, especially among the MSME sector. In my mind and my experience, there are two hurdles. The first one is the mindset. We have our shop floor supervisor. Let's take Mr. Wankede's supervisor. He has spent 20 years on the shop floor. He knows every single machine. त्याच्या आवाजावरनं त्यांना कळतं की ते चालू आहे की नाही, right? He knows every tolerance parameter. He knows every custom order. Now, an ERP consultant comes and tells him, okay, now put this all in the system. What does he hear? What he hears is, my experience no longer has a value. लोकांना टेक्नॉलॉजीची भीती नाही आहे इकडे. लोक काय म्हणतात, माझ्या अनुभवाची कुठे कदर करताय तुम्ही? And that is the problem. They are afraid of losing their relevance in this high-tech world. The second hurdle is the process. If you go to any manufacturer in India, I'm sure you're going to see a Japanese JV or a German collaboration. You're going to see machines which are state of the art. And when we talk to them, they say, German precision, wonderful. Japanese efficiency, unbeatable. But what we need to understand is this efficiency, this precision, it comes from discipline. It comes from process. In a lot of Indian manufacturing, what we see is process is a suggestion. Yeah? When our processes don't work, what we do is jugaad. Let's get it done somehow, deliver it, finish it. Jugaad can help you one day when you have an urgent order going on. But you keep on doing jugaad, and what you get is inconsistent data, lot of manual dependencies, and operational confusion. And that is the real issue. Because ERP failure is not a software problem. ERP failure is a mindset problem and a process problem. And unless we solve that, we won't get further. So what do we do? How do we solve this problem? Because if we don't solve this problem, talking about AI and cloud and investing lakhs and crores of rupees in an ERP is giving you no results. So look at the operator on the shop floor. He is your subject matter expert. Don't implement the ERP for him. Implement the ERP with him. Bring him into your decision room. Ask him what he's doing today. What are the hurdles that he's facing? What are the problems that he's facing? Help him shape the process. Help him build his ERP. Once the shop floor is a part of the process, then ERP is not a management decision. ERP is an apply system. The second one is the process. How do we fix that? Again, a process problem exists in an organization way before ERP was implemented. A lot of time people say, oh, now that ERP is here, I have to do things in a certain way. But that's not true. You have to do things in a certain way whether or not you use ERP. So first learn to define what that certain way looks like in your company. Define the process. Codify it. And then implement it using the ERP. ERP is just a tool to make that same process more efficient, more productive for your company. And And once you do that, once your mindset has changed, and once your process is well defined, then your ERP will start giving you reliable data. Everyone in the company will have a single source of truth. And when everyone works from that same version of the truth, then decisions become faster. They are taken with much more confidence. And you see the results in your balance sheet, in your P&L. So having said that, we've laid down the foundation of ERP, we've changed the mindset, we've got the process, we are now starting to get data that we can trust. And that is the foundation on which now we can build cloud. If ERP is your structure, cloud is the one which removes the walls around it. There are 3 things that cloud will give you. The first is visibility. Now just think of this business owner who is sitting in Mumbai. He has a major sales meeting, with a foreign vendor, customer. Using a cloud ERP, he opens his laptop or his tablet, and he can see what was the production last weekend. He can see what is my order book looking like today. He can see what my inventory is looking like today. The visibility which he gets from a cloud ERP when he is far away from his factory, when his factory is in another city, he may be traveling the globe. But ERP is able to give him, without making calls, frantic calls, without opening the email and looking at an Excel sheet which is already outdated. This is the visibility which cloud will give you. The second thing is the scalability. Indian manufacturing is growing. People are setting up plants today in Pune, tomorrow in Nashik, day after in Ahmedabad. When you have cloud, you're not worried about how your IT infrastructure is going to scale. You're not worried about employing more IT people, buying more servers, buying security and antivirus and firewalls and all of that. All you do is turn on a switch, and the same system that is serving one plant today can serve 2 or 3 or more. Just add the capacity, because cloud can give you unlimited capacity at a tap of a button. So onboard new users, onboard new customers, onboard new vendors, everything with no disruption to your existing business. And the third one, which is very, very important, is synchronized operations. Once you have cloud, every department, no matter where they are located, can talk to each other in real time. The moment the goods leave your factory gate, your finance is intimated so that they can start invoicing. Stock drops below your threshold limit, your procurement team is alerted. The customer is placing an order, your production planning is already turning the wheels. There are no emails, no follow-ups, no oops, visar lori me moments. So the business starts operating as one connected system instead of disconnected departments trying to catch up with each other. Now, if ERP is giving us trust and cloud is giving us reach, AI, what is AI? AI is your force multiplier. And for manufacturers, the impact will start showing up in your P&L much faster than what you would expect. First of all, cost and efficiency. AI helps you to forecast your demand better, to optimize your inventory, to reduce your wastage, to improve your quality and your energy usage, less working capital requirements, more available for the business for your growth and expansion. Second, the quality and productivity. AI is able to monitor your machines, your shifts, your production patterns. It can spot defects, it can spot maintenance risk before they become breakdowns, and customer complaints before the customer reports them. You have better quality, you have better customer satisfaction, you have better repeat business, you have growth. And the third one, which is very, very important and which is where AI is really, really powerful, is knowledge and the bigger picture. Every single transaction inside your ERP is data to train the AI. AI can turn your operational history into SOPs, into standard operating procedures, which you can use for onboarding new staff. It can provide you cross-functional insights into the production, the sales, the finance. A knowledge which was living in the heads of your experienced team member is now accessible to anybody and everybody through AI. And that is the real shift. AI is not here to replace people. AI is here to augment the capabilities. It is catching what humans cannot always see. It scales what experienced teams already know. And it gives leadership a far more connected view of their business. From reacting to anticipating, from firefighting to foresight. And none of this works if your underlying ERP and your cloud are not functioning as they should. So, this is a lot of talk, a lot of theory. How does it look like in the real world? I'm going to give you an example here from one of our customers in Germany, Friedrich Amtenbrink. It's a 57-year-old German steel manufacturer, around 130 employees, 30 machines on the shop floor. Some are modern machines, some are legacy machines. Even though this company is based in Germany, I'm sure this is the same scenario, whether this is Pune or Aurangabad or Ahmedabad or Ranchi or Coimbatore. Family business, long-term business, growing business, now constrained when they are not using technology. So what was the challenge with Amtenbrink? Amtenbrink was already a customer of our ERP, Abbas ERP, for the last decade or so. That was giving them the structured operational foundation. On top of that, last year, what we did is we implemented Target BI. Target BI is a business intelligence system, software, which helped them to convert their ERP data into business intelligence, giving them trends, identifying bottlenecks, and performance patterns which were visible to management in real time. And over and top of that, we have applied Prodazo. Prodazo is our AI-supported IoT system, which is connected to every machine on the shop floor, whether it's a modern one or a legacy one. And it pulls live machine data from all these 30 machines to monitor downtime, to monitor throughput, to monitor utilization, and maintenance behavior. Suddenly, from ERP, within a year, they went to having business intelligence and AI. And they could see that. You can see that in the way that the quality has improved, the productivity has improved, the efficiency has improved. So they did not transform by replacing their people or by buying new infrastructure. What they transformed was by connecting their operations, their data, and their shop floor into one connected system, which gives them the complete picture today. Okay, all of that is fine for Germany, but when it comes to India, there's a cost, right? What about ROI? I'm sure every ERP manufacturer today has this question from any prospective customer. It is a huge cost. And honestly, I think this is where a lot of ERP conversations go wrong. Because ERP is not another software expense. ERP is a core operational capability for your company to grow. When it comes to your cyber security, or even your physical security, right? Or your machine maintenance, we don't think about ROI, do we? Why? Because the cost of failure is simply too high. And trust me, ERP is no different. The real ROI shows up in operations. It shows up when your downtime is lower. It shows up when you are not locking capital in inventory. It shows up when you can make faster decisions because you have a connected system. And most importantly, it shows up when leaders can trust the numbers they see. Like we say it in India, paisa vasool, right? Because the real question is not whether can I afford the ERP, the real question is can you afford to scale without it? I'm going to leave you with just one thought here. Transformation is hard. It is hard for the entrepreneur who is writing a check without seeing any returns. It is hard on that shop floor supervisor who is being told, trust this system instead of your instinct and your memory. And because it is hard, everyone will not do it. But some will lead. Some will adapt. And others, many, will struggle to keep up. The question is no longer whether ERP works or is AI here to stay. The real question is, what will manufacturers like Mr. Wankhede choose? And what kind of a manufacturing future do we want to build for India? Because the future is not going to belong to the company with the best machines and the best shop floor. It is going to belong to the ones who have the clarity, the discipline, and most importantly, the courage to transform. Thank you. If there are any questions, I'm happy to take them.
कोणाला काही प्रश्न असेल तर अवश्य विचारा. आपल्याकडे 5 मिनिट आहेत.
मराठीत पण चालेल.
हां, मराठीमध्ये प्रश्न विचारला तरीही चालेल. डझंट मॅटर. ओके, थँक्यू. एकदा जोरदार टाळ्या रेश्मा मॅडमसाठी. I will request Dr. Prakash Munde to do come on the stage and felicitate Mrs. Reshma Painse on behalf of Exponomics Events Private Limited. Reshma ma'am has delivered a very good lecture which is informative on the topic of cloud ERP for changing workforce, how AI and data are reshaping business operations, by the suitable example of Mr. Wankhede. So thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Now within 5 minutes, we are attending a panel discussion. The panelists are Mr. Kalpesh Bhausar, Mr. Prasanna Amnan, and Mr. Virendra Jamdade, which will be start within 5 minutes. Thank you.
नमस्कार. माझ्या सर्व उद्योजक बंधू आणि भगिनींनो, महाराष्ट्रासाठी अभिमानाची गोष्ट आहे की आपल्या पिंपरी चिंचवडमध्ये देशातील पहिला ERP एक्सपो 2026 आयोजित होतो आहे. 7 ते 9 मे या काळात हा सोहळा होतो आहे. आजच्या काळात उद्योगांना अधिक स्मार्ट बनवण्यासाठी AI आणि ERP तंत्रज्ञानाची जोड देणं अत्यंत आवश्यक आहे. या एक्सपोमध्ये देशभरातील 100पेक्षा जास्त कंपन्या सहभागी होत असून उत्पादन, रिटेल आणि आरोग्य अशा विविध क्षेत्रांसाठी इथं आधुनिक सोल्युशन पाहायला मिळतील. एक्सपोमध्ये तज्ज्ञांच्या मार्गदर्शनामुळे आणि 20,000पेक्षा जास्त व्यावसायिकांच्या उपस्थितीमुळे नेटवर्किंगच्या नवीन संधी निर्माण होतील. आपल्या पारंपरिक उद्योगांना डिजिटल भारत या संकल्पनेशी जोडणारा हा एक महत्त्वाचा उपक्रम आहे. मी एक्सपोनॉमिक्स इव्हेंट्सचे या आयोजनाबद्दल अभिनंदन करतो. सर्व उद्योजक आणि स्टार्टअप्सनी या संधीचा लाभ घेण्यासाठी नक्की सहभागी व्हावं असं आवाहन करतो. या एक्सपोला माझ्या खूप खूप शुभेच्छा. धन्यवाद. जय हिंद, जय महाराष्ट्र.
महाराष्ट्राचे उपमुख्यमंत्री आदरणीय नामदार एकनाथजी शिंदेसाहेब यांनी या प्रदर्शनाला शुभेच्छा दिल्या आहेत. आणि त्याचबरोबर आजच्या तिसऱ्या दिवशी मागच्या 2 दिवसांचा लेखाजोखा छायाचित्रांच्या माध्यमातून आपल्या सर्वांसमोर सादर होतो आहे. मागच्या 2 दिवसातली ही काही क्षणचित्र. एक्सपोनॉमिक्स इव्हेंट्स प्रायव्हेट लिमिटेड वतीनं आयोजित ERP एक्सपो 2026 या प्रदर्शनाचा आजचा तिसरा दिवस. 7 मे रोजी या प्रदर्शनाचं उद्घाटन झालं. पद्मश्री मिलिंद कांबळे DICCIचे संस्थापक अध्यक्ष यांच्या प्रमुख उपस्थितीमध्ये त्यांच्या शुभ हस्ते या प्रदर्शनाचा उद्घाटन समारंभ झाला आणि औपचारिक उद्घाटन करून सर्वच मान्यवर या ऑडिटोरियममध्ये उपस्थित झाले आणि इथं उद्घाटनीय सोहळा पार पडला होता. या उद्घाटन सोहळ्याप्रसंगी या ठिकाणी अनेक मान्यवर आणि आपल्या प्रदर्शनाला स्पॉन्सरर जे आहेत ते देखील आवर्जून उपस्थित होते. त्यामध्ये आवर्जून उल्लेख करावा लागेल तो म्हणजे अर्थातच या संपूर्ण प्रदर्शनामध्ये आपल्याला सहाय्यभूत ठरणाऱ्या श्रद्धा कुलकर्णी, सनवन टेक्नॉलॉजीज प्रायव्हेट लिमिटेडचे डायरेक्टर, त्याचबरोबर इरफान आवटे, रोटरी क्लब ऑफ पिंपरी एलाइटचे प्रेसिडेंट, इंद्रायणी इंडस्ट्रीज असोसिएशनचे प्रेसिडेंट श्रीमान महेंद्र फणसे, त्याचबरोबर फेडरेशन ऑफ चाकण इंडस्ट्रीजचे CEO दिलीप बटवाल हे देखील या उद्घाटन सोहळ्याला उपस्थित होते. या प्रदर्शनासोबतच या ठिकाणी ERP संदर्भात आत्ता ज्या पद्धतीनं आपण रेश्मा पेंडसे मॅडमचं व्याख्यान ऐकलं, त्यामुळं AI, क्लाऊड, ERP या विविध तंत्रज्ञानाला सोबत घेऊन आपल्या उद्योगाला अधिक मोठं करण्यासाठी नेमका या ERPचा वापर आपल्या उद्योगामध्ये कसा करता येईल यासंबंधी तज्ज्ञांचं मार्गदर्शन आपल्या सर्वांना व्हावं, उद्योजकांना व्हावं, यात सहभागी सर्वांनाच व्हावं या उद्देशानं कीनोट प्रेझेंटेशन अँड ॲज वेल ॲज पॅनल डिस्कशन्स हॅव अरेंज्ड हिअर. आणि त्याचाच एक भाग म्हणून आज तिसऱ्या दिवशीसुद्धा हे पहिलं कीनोट प्रेझेंटेशन रेश्मा मॅडम यांनी सादर केलं. आफ्टर धिस विदिन अ फ्यू मोमेंट्स वी आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट अवर वन मोर पॅनल डिस्कशन अँड पॅनलिस्ट वेअर कल्पेश भावसार, Mr. Prasanna Amnan, Mr. Virendra Jamdade, and moderator will be Mr. Pawan More. So within a few moments we are going to start this panel discussion. आजच्या दिवशी या पॅनल डिस्कशन सोबतच आणखी काही कीनोट प्रेझेंटेशनसुद्धा आपल्या सर्वांसमोर होणार आहेत. त्यामध्ये कल्पेश भावसार जे क्लाऊड अँड ERP टेक्नॉलॉजीज प्रायव्हेट लिमिटेडचे डायरेक्टर आहेत, हे आपल्याला ट्रान्सफॉर्मेशन ॲट स्केल लेसन्स फ्रॉम ग्लोबल एंटरप्राइज या विषयावरती मार्गदर्शन करणार आहेत. त्यामुळं सर्व मान्यवरांसह या ठिकाणी तज्ज्ञांच्या मार्गदर्शनामध्ये आपल्याला या ERP संदर्भात अधिक माहिती उपलब्ध होणार आहे. आता थोड्याच वेळात आपल्याला महाराष्ट्र विधानसभेचे उपाध्यक्ष श्रीमान अण्णा बनसोडे हे देखील उपस्थित होणार आहेत. या प्रदर्शनाला भेट देण्यासाठी ते देखील येणार आहेत. या प्रदर्शनामध्ये आपण ज्या काही वेगवेगळ्या संकल्पना अंमलात आणतोय त्यामधली एक अत्यंत महत्त्वपूर्ण संकल्पना म्हणजे जवळपास 100 स्टॉल्स या ठिकाणी आहेत, A आणि B अशा दोन्ही हॉल्समध्ये मिळून. या स्टॉल्सना आपण A मधून 3 बेस्ट स्टॉल्स आणि हॉल B मधून 3 बेस्ट स्टॉल्स असे डिक्लेअर करतोय. त्यामुळे एक प्रकारची स्पर्धा, कॉम्पिटिशन या निमित्तानं राहील आणि ते प्राईज डिस्ट्रीब्युशन ऑफकोर्स अण्णा बनसोडे यांच्या हस्ते होणार आहे. काही वेळातच श्रीमान अण्णा बनसोडे सर या ठिकाणी उपस्थित होतील, म्हणजे आपल्या प्रदर्शनाच्या ठिकाणी, आणि तिथेच प्राईज डिस्ट्रीब्युशन होईल. दरम्यान आपल्या या ऑडिटोरियममध्ये वेगवेगळे तज्ज्ञ, एक्सपर्टीज आपल्या कीनोट प्रेझेंटेशनच्या माध्यमातून आपल्या सर्वांना ERP, क्लाऊड, AI या संदर्भात विस्तृत माहिती देतील. त्यासोबतच पॅनल डिस्कशन्स असतील. हे पॅनलिस्टसुद्धा त्या विषयातले तज्ज्ञ आहेत आणि त्यांच्या मार्गदर्शनाचा आपल्या प्रत्येकाला लाभ होईल. आपल्या प्रत्येकाच्या उद्योगाला अधिक मोठं करण्यासाठी, व्यापक करण्यासाठी, ग्लोबलाइज करण्यासाठी या सर्व तंत्रज्ञानाचा आपण जरूर वापर करू शकतो आणि तोच आमचा यामागचा उद्देश आहे. केवळ प्रदर्शन एवढं न राहता त्यातलं तंत्र आत्मसात करणं हे देखील घडावं, हाच त्यामागचा उद्देश आहे. For the panel discussion, we welcome all the panelists on the dais. Please welcome Mr. Kalpesh Bhausar. Please do come, sir. Kalpesh Bhausar is himself is the visionary founder of PM Track ERP, a powerful ERP solution designed to simplify complex business operations. With a strong focus on execution, efficiency, and real-time control, Kalpesh has helped multiple organizations streamline their project management, procurement, and financial workflows. At Exponomics ERP Expo, he brings forward innovative ERP strategies tailored for modern businesses, aiming for scalability, profitability, and operational excellence. We'll welcome Mr. Paresh Bhausar. Also, we'll welcome again Mr. Prasanna Amnan. Please do come on the dais, sir. Mr. Prasanna Amnan is a global technology and business leader with nearly 2 decades of experience in software engineering, ERP, and AI-driven business transformation. As the managing director of Lemendo India, he focuses on helping SMEs modernize and scale through practical digital solutions like MERP, modern ERP, known for bridging technology with business strategy. He specializes in building high-performing teams, delivering complex software products, and driving ERP LED transformation. He is also an advocate of systems thinking, actively contributing to the community through initiatives like the Systems Innovation Bangalore Hub, and is recognized for his insight on leadership. So please welcome Mr. Prasanna Amnan. And to discuss with him, here is Pawan More. Please do come on the dais. Yesterday also, he is moderator for our all panel discussions, and for today whole day, all the panel discussions will be conducted in the guidance of Mr. Pawan More. So we'll welcome again Pawan More also. And I will request Mr. Pawan More to start their panel discussion. Thank you.
Mic check. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the panel discussion. So we had some sessions yesterday. I hope they were useful as well as interesting. We'll start with today's. Just to give you the topics ideation, so we are covering current trends in ERP, current scenarios, how they are moving. The topic for this is India's ERP evolution, AI, cloud, and Industry 4 readiness. So we have already covered a lot of subject matters in different modules in ERP. Now we want to see how the transformation is happening and what is the readiness for us in the current scenarios. So let's start with one of the first questions that we have. I would like to know from Prasanna sir, so how's India's ERP transformation journey happening right now? So how has the ERP landscape in India evolved over last decade? And what factors are now accelerating digital transformation across industries?
Thank you so much, Pawan. I think this is a very relevant question. For me, I think if you ask me from an India perspective, this goes back, initially we started with basically digitization, which is, you have paper process and then that paper process is getting converted to digitization. So it merely taking from paper to electronic form. Then we have the next process, which is next level of maturity, which is digitalization, where then you have not only the digitization aspect, but you have the end workflows, like for example, processing of something, an event-driven workflow, and so on. So that is the next part. And there comes your ability to be innovative, be quicker, be better, target your efficiencies, whether it is performance or it is other business efficiencies. Now, I think we are going more towards what is called as the much more maturity, which is leading to digital transformation, where it is no longer only about either of these, digitization or digitalization, but it's in a connected way, in a deeply connected way, in an enriched way, where because of which you should be able to achieve clarity, you should be able to make faster decisions, and last but not the least, you're able to be quick to respond to change. So I think that is where we are in seeing in the journey today. We have moved from digitization to an inclusive digital transformation.
That's an interesting say. Kalpesh sir, this will be pointed to you. So, AI-powered ERP adoption. So we had some interesting sessions happening yesterday, some stories. I'll just elaborate on that. AI is rapidly becoming part of modern ERP platforms. How are Indian businesses leveraging AI for automation, forecasting, analytics, and smarter decision making?
This is a very nice question. Yeah, I have been interacting with many business owners these days. Like I am looking after sales of the product, so I come across a lot of directors of the company. So yesterday, I'll give you a very small example. Yesterday, I went to meet a company owner in Chakan. So I was just explaining him about the product and what we offer. Like there is purchase module, there is stores module, there is MRP run and everything. So he was listening, he was very quiet, he was listening, he listened to me for 15-20 minutes. And he was just like, इसमें मेरे लिए क्या है? So the thing was, वो बोला, everyone is giving this. Like purchase सबके पास है, store सबके पास है, everyone is implementing those modules and all. He told me, I'll tell you my problem. So they are into basically hydraulic supply for and parking systems. So they give hydraulic bars for the vertical parking systems. So his point was very clear. I don't want ERP for these things. मेरा प्रॉब्लम है, मुझे फ़ोन आता है कस्टमर का, आई शुड बी एबल टू टेल मेरा डिलीवरी कब होगा. सो वॉट यू कैन गिव इन दिस. So now what is happening, like with the knowledge which the directors are getting through various platform, like now they are teaching me, यार ये तो emergent में हो जाता है, अरे ये तो हम online codex पे कर रहे हैं. So there is a lot of information available in the market now, जो पहले directors तक थी नहीं. So now what is happening, the total trend is moving towards like AI adoption in the ERP. सो उनका कहना था कि मुझे आप एक ऐसा टूल बना के दो, ये स्टॉक वगैरह तो मैं एक्सेल पे भी संभाल सकता हूँ. सो आई वांट अ टूल वेयर इन देयर शुड बी अ AI एजेंट सिटिंग. आई विल गेट अ ईमेल with the customer order. The ERP should be capable enough, the AI agent should be capable enough to read the email, to translate it into a sales order in the ERP, and my ERP should shoot an email to the owner of the company, like the one who has given me the sales order, कि this is going to be the tentative delivery date, like maybe plus minus 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, whatever they keep. So now what is happening कि it is more about technology now. अभी primitive ERP में अभी कोई believe ही नहीं कर रहा है. So everyone wants it should be more integrated towards with the AI agents and all trending things which are going on in the market. So everyone wants it to be a part of their ERP system. So this complete trend is now changing towards AI and all, and there is a lot of things now coming in the future. Like मुझे एक customer ने बोला, I got a demo of a ERP. वहाँ पे सिर्फ उन्होंने बोला था कि generate a invoice to X customer for A item and this much quantity, and the invoice got generated. So this is how the translation is happening now. And it is a very good time for us to change and adopt those technologies so that we'll be in the market for a longer period of time. Otherwise, हमारे लिए भी this is a very big bell, like we should adopt to new technologies.
I would like to ask on the same lines that see traditional ERPs, there is a reason why they have been successful and they have survived for so many decades, I would say. Taking examples from SAP and other products, NetSuite and etc., everything has evolved around the same. See, what I feel these ERPs are not just fancy tools. They are very serious affair. They run big businesses. And there are standard processes they have been organized. That is tried and tested over the number of years. And with different complications, problem statements, issues that have been risen with companies. Now when I say, okay, I'll put something like an AI and it's a full automation. Imagine a 5,000 crore company running on a some chat GPT AI, and it goes into ghosting, or it hallucinates, then what? Because the decision might change very significantly. Any such situations where you have to explain to the owners ki sir, you have to go for a serious ERP, and maybe use something on top of the line for some small automation tasks or something. ऐसा कुछ situations कभी हुआ है आप दोनों के लिए है ये?
Yesterday only, there was a guy who visited my stall, and he was from Jalgaon, a very small city, in terms of technology. तो वो मेरे स्टॉल पे आए, तो ही सेड कि यार आपका इतना बड़ा कंपनी है तो आपका स्टॉल इतना छोटा क्यों है? तो मैं आई एक्सप्लेन हिम कि it's not about the stall space or something, it is more about what we are offering. And then he told me कि I met a guy exactly opposite side of the exhibition, and he told me कि ये पूरा system हमने 2 महीने में बनाया है. Like whole ERP is developed in 2 months. So मैंने उनको वही explain किया, see it is not building the system. ERP is a system, it's an ecosystem for the organization. It's not about only the product. इसमें product का contribution is very less, and what maturity is required in terms of the implementation of the product is आपको you should understand the business processes very well. It's not about the product. Like, and means what my thought process is, you cannot have a single ERP running in different business verticals. So ये लोग आ रहे हैं market में. There have been people who are coming in the market, developing the systems through AI, and as you rightly said, अगर वो agent hallucinate हो जाता है, and if he gives false messages to the customers जिन्होंने order expect किया कि कल आ जाएगी, परसों आ जाएगी, so it can be a very big issue. So
ground reality we know कि supply chain models में हमने देखे हैं,
4M
supply chain.
change.
How do you know? How does the AI know कि ट्रक दिल्ली से निकल के चंडीगढ़ पहुंचा है या नहीं पहुंचा है? There has to be track and trace. And you're saying ठीक है, driver का मन आ गया, नींद आ गई, सो गया. Now AI has committed it will reach tomorrow, and then our client is if it's a manufacturing, so client has decided complete production planning for tomorrow. Right? Such kind of situations are going to happen.
Right,
So,
right.
And
So 100% AI adoption is not at all possible. Like you cannot be completely dependent on any AI to run your business. So yeah.
Prasanna sir, you would like to add?
Thank you, Kalpesh sir. I think he rightly pointed out, it's not, we shouldn't try to expect 100% from AI or ML for that matter. We ourselves, I can give an example, very similar problem. They are a large manufacturing business, not based out of India, and they wanted abilities to basically, incoming email, they want to understand, and then they want to contextually respond. Yeah, this is their problem statement. And the challenge is they have around maybe 70 varieties of, you can say, products which are built by them. So therefore, the challenge is ultimately, what I'm saying is we were able to give them what they'd seek, but definitely it was not 100%. It will have to be, get somewhere at 94, then 96, then 98. Today it's around there. But that also doesn't mean it's still up to the mark there, because it's a lot dependent on the actual data that they are having. It's a lot dependent on scenarios which we probably cannot anticipate, and that level of maturity in terms of agentic, in terms of LLM and ML is still an ongoing thing, right? Within today, if I ask our developers which tool would you want to use, cloud or you want to use other providers, they themselves cannot make a concrete decision.
Yeah, there is a
because
new
it's
version
going
every day.
Exactly, it's evolving very rapidly. So the rate of change is really, really fast, is really very high, which means that the only way we can navigate that is through, making basically very much hedged decisions or calculated risks that we have to take. So therefore, deploying a solution which will automatically answer, yes, possible, but it comes with certain challenges.
Decision making, I think, will not
which
yet
we
rely
have to
on that.
navigate, and there I think we will need to play better.
Interesting. Acha, too much of an AI we are talking, I know it's a trending one, but I would like to pivot the whole discussion to a different edge of it. This is for Industry 4.0 readiness. Okay, we have been talking about it, hearing about it for past few years. Some of them have implemented, and majorly for manufacturing. So, Industry 4.0 readiness, I would like to point to you, Prasanna, first. So how prepared are Indian manufacturing and service industries for Industry 4.0? And what role does ERP play in enabling smart operations and connected ecosystems? Too much of AI, no AI now.
Yes.
Bore ho gaya.
Nice. No, I think from an India perspective, already we see that prior to this, a lot of data entry happened using people would input data. On the shop floors, they would input data. And then they eventually upgraded to barcodes and so on. What is changing now and which is good is there is a lot of machine data that is coming in. So previously these were not necessarily sitting in ERP. Perhaps they didn't exist as well. But now that machine data, we are able to bring it into ERP, using which now you can do subsequent processes. So that becomes important. For example, a business having inventory, which is literally coming from your, well, the trucks are bringing your raw materials, and at the end of the day, they leave with the finished goods. In between, there is whole thing about your production, then your packaging, then your labeling, and then shifting them to the trucks appropriately. So all that happens, including quality and other aspects. Now for all of these, previously we did not have machine data. Now today it becomes available. And because of that, you can now do a lot more. And I think that is where we are also slowly moving. Of course, this was much ahead. We have been behind, but it's already happening in other parts of the world. But certainly for us, this is a new transition. And this is now further enabling our story with regard to how you can use all this data from an AI point of view or any downstream business processing.
Kalpesh, you would like to add for IoT 4.0, industrial?
Yeah. So regarding IoT, so basically in India, Industry 4.0 is limited to IoT. This is what I think. And the biggest problem for any manufacturing industry today is the data entry in the ERP. So I have seen a very good adoption of IoT devices on any kind of machine. Maybe it's a CNC machine or any proxy based kind of machines. So like organizations are adopting a lot of IoT. But another thing what I have seen is the pricing of these kinds of devices. So when I approach any machine shop with around 20 machines, so usual charges for IoT is 50,000, 60,000 per machine now. So the thought process here is, यार मैं 12,000 का आदमी बिठा देता हूँ data entry के लिए. This is what the general trend is. So the adoption is not that aggressive when it comes to MSME. But big players who can invest a lot in IoT and then different kinds of data interfacing with the machines, so they are definitely adopting this technology a lot. And Industry 4.0 is going to take a lot of time. Means unless the basics are done, you cannot expect a machine shop to run completely automatic, like with quality and all.
That is happening actually. We saw some examples like operational efficiencies happening, where the machine, because manufacturers का बोलना ये होता है, my machine, जितना मेरा machine run होगा उतना मेरा business है, depending on the manufacturers. So they wanted to know what is my downtime, how many cycles they have run, how many production count, those kind of elements. When we face some situations like that, we talked about that, ki sir, whatever will be the cost of it, we'll divide it by per product and let's see what is your efficiency on that way. So this we tried, but like you rightly said, the product costing is coming 50, and yes, I got an answer कि मेरा बंदा अब 12 बोल रहे हो सर, मैं 8-10 की भी बात करता हूँ. So there are people who are like कि मेरा machine handler या operator जो रहेगा उसका salary is like anything. So जितना आप मेरे को figure price बता रहे हो उतने में मेरे 2 बंदे 2 shift में काम कर लेंगे, plus थोड़ा और 500 रुपये दे दिया तो वो overtime भी कर लेगा. Right? This kind of an generic statements comes from SMEs. Yeah, you have something.
I just want to add. It is very true. I think I have also heard similar things, and it's a little unfortunate, but I think I want to highlight, and there is both. Sometimes they are right because as business owners, they know what is most important for them in a short-term perspective. But then we are coming from experience, having implemented in multiple places, working with multiple businesses. So then I think what we can tell is in terms of long-term, there is a different perspective to it. And so invariably, this attitude also is something that owners needs to change, because whether they like it or not, somewhere it pulls them back. And that's the truth. It may not be visibly seen instantly, because in the short term, it's definitely maybe, as you said, he may have a cheaper resource that can substitute it. But I think in terms of evolving, in terms of maturity, in terms of operational efficiency, which I think if you see a lot of, I can give an example. There is a word called Mittelstand in this Europe region. They're very, very small businesses, but extremely efficient. And that I think is missing for us in our MSME world. I imagine if we can go to that extent, then I think we can manufacture for the world, no? So I think that's the thinking problem that we will have to address.
I would like to connect to the audience as well here. Any ERP guys who have actually created some modules around IoTs or Industrial 4.0? Yes, please. I would request whoever asks the question, please do mention your name and company name so that you get a nice visibility around it.
Thank you so much. My name is Mudassir Sheikh, and I'm the founder of One Control Private Limited. So we are into retrofitting of IoT devices to MSMEs, and the major problem we face is the similar problem. I'll let my resource work for 8,000 and put the data entry. But what we fail to explain to them is the run in the longer chain, right? And we fail to explain them the value of this implementation of ERP. So, I had one question regarding, we are not able to explain them the value of AI, what value it brings to their value chain, and how does it directly affect their revenue. Okay, that is one question. And the second is, IoT devices rightly mentioned, per machines we are charging around, 50, 60, you mentioned it very low. I have seen people charging around 1 lakh and upwards.
So I'll give you a nicer, because yes, this is gonna go live and stream and people might be hearing around it. What would you charge for a device in generic for your price point?
Let's say if it's a basic CNC device, it would go upwards of 1 lakh, and depending on their functionalities and the data acquisition that they want from the system, the modules can increase more than that.
Yes, your good name is Mudassir.
Mudassir, yeah.
Mudassir. So Mudassir from?
One Control.
One Control. So Mudassir from One Control has a device for IoT. Somebody who's listening towards this, for sure, please do connect with them. Yeah. Okay, I would request you to answer for this.
So I'll give you an example. Like last year, one of my customer, he went to some IMTechs in Bangalore, and he came across a IoT company, and they decided, chalo IoT karte hai. And in first phase, they have around 150 CNC machines. So in first phase, they implemented it across 30 machines to get the data and everything. So one fine day I went to him after 6-7 months of implementation. तो मैंने उनको पूछा कि यार सर कैसा चल रहा है IoT आपका? So he said कि डेटा तो आ रहा है यार, but देखेगा कौन? So that is also one problem. कि a lot of data is also of no use. Like, so basically when it comes to AI and IoT integration, see, now companies are facing a lot of issues. They don't want to just keep on monitoring the data. They want to monitor only the data which they should monitor. मुझे मशीन यूटिलाइजेशन मेरा 80% है, 20% डाउन टाइम है, डजेंट मैटर. वो उनको पता है उनका एफिशिएंसी 60% है. वॉट मोर कंसर्निंग फॉर देम इज कि वॉट डेटा आई शुड सी एंड वॉट आई शुड ओवरलुक या फिर छोड़ दो. सो वॉट आई थिंक विथ यूज ऑफ AI agents, you can gather the data through IoT machines and you can develop such kind of dashboard. Now see, it's a real time problem कि डेटा तो आ रहा है बट देखने को किसको टाइम है. वी ऑल्सो रन बिजनेसेस, हम भी बिजी रहते हैं या फिर कोई देखेगा नहीं उसको. सो विथ AI you can have an agent which can give only the relevant data where really the efficiency is affecting. Means you can set up some data points like it should escalate to the director of the company only if the parameter moves out of this much efficiency and all. So डेटा देखने के लिए आज किसी के पास भी टाइम नहीं है. एंड दिस इज़ द रियलिटी ऑफ जिसके पास 150 CNC और 5 प्लांट है वो कभी नहीं देखेगा. एंड इफ ही इज़ नॉट इन्वॉल्व, डेफिनेटली उसके मैनेजर को भी इंटरेस्ट नहीं है. उनको एक ही पता है कि मेरा टर्नओवर कितना बढ़ रहा है. सो दिस इज़ द रियलिटी. सो with help of AI agents and AI thing, you can build something which is not common in the market and ensure them कि you will not end up or you will not waste your time just by looking the data, and we will give you only the insights where you should actually look. So this is what my giveaway is on this.
I would like to add up towards that. So you might actually give them preventive maintenance kind of schedules. Sometimes breakdown can happen around the machines. So 150 CNCs, when we are saying, say maybe 2 or 3 machines are not working. So you can have your efficiency matrices done like for the complete run operations. And when this trigger and alarm happens to the owner, I think that is one of the best ideations that he wants to know, right? That is one of the things could be done.
Yeah, that is one of the main, KPIs that they look at, breakdown of the machines, and then where my operation is failing, or where my efficiency is getting reduced. But the end product that they're looking at is the how much increase is there in the revenue. It is a simple metric for them. It is nothing else.
Yeah, it's difficult, very difficult. But look, if you look at it from a risk point of view,
Yeah.
now then there's a, you can always add a monetary side to it, but you can also say, hey, this is about now your reputational risk, your business risk. Now that's a very important perspective, because as sir was saying, if these things are in behind the scenes and they are continuously getting monitored, and only when there is a need, only when there is a criticality that we need to trigger that event, then that makes sense. And that can be addressed from a risk point of view. If you don't have it, you do not have it. But if you have it, while it's sitting there with you, you made that investment, it will hit when it's needed most. So I think that is a way to go about, and I would recommend that for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I'd like few more questions from the audience. We are really giving you the visibility of it. You make best of this opportunity right now.
Yeah, so in space of the IoT, I'm Mani from Tech Options course then, we are ERP implementers. So just question 2 on the IoT spaces. So I just wanted to know practically in Indian space, which is an area really this IoT is getting tractions, picking up. Is it true, or last few years we are listening this lot, but where is the real happening is there? The struggle is with ERP, AI, or some other core issues?
From my understanding, from an Indian point of view, I believe in retail side, it is happening in multiple contexts. Because this, I think, especially for large retailers, and then also especially ones who have multiple stores, multiple retail outlets in the same cities. So for them, to use this, the data coming from this is used for other purposes, like for example, predicting footfall, and they combine it with other data to be more accurate in terms of saying, I can expect this kind of demand, in terms of retail. So that I believe I can give an example from my understanding and my experience, but over to.
So I am giving services to manufacturing. So I do understand there is a very huge adoption of IoT, mainly wherever the mass manufacturing is happening, and very less setup chains are there.
What is the definition?
So mass manufacturing is like, if you consider any automotive part manufacturing company. So there is a schedule monthly, like you want to supply this part, 2 lakh quantity. So for them, the efficiency really matters, because the machines are getting booked for 15 days, 20 days completely. There is no setup change and all. And a little improvement in the efficiency can give them a lot of schedule compliance in terms of the delivery, on-time deliveries and everything. So wherever there is mass manufacturing, like maybe machine shop, plastic molding shops, rubber molding shops, wherever the components are getting produced in lakhs. So they are really interested in implementing IoT on their machines. Yeah.
I forgot to mention also warehouses, inventory and warehouses. That's another place where it is getting adopted.
I'd like to give you some examples around it. We see supply chain tracking we have seen. So not to specify any specific names, but you have fleet already being monitored on IoT 4.0, where say production is happening. So assembly, productions, everything comes hand in hand, right? So maybe raw material is produced in say Sambhajinagar, and then coming from there to Pune for assemblies. Now the timeline is also very important for those. So that is one. We have seen some examples to the level of lathe machines, which is a purely manual driven process. There have been some devices who actually give you counters for that. So at least a human error can be identified. Temperature control, so there are furnace industries that we have seen. So temperature control, incident happening that we have seen. So it is happening in phases, for sure. There was a lot of traction by government saying, ki, please adopt to the industry 4.0. I actually have a fun incident to share was, I saw a manufacturer procure one-arm robot, you know, for pick and place kind of an operations, and it was nicely displayed at the gate of the workshop. It was displayed at the gate of the workshop. It should have been operational. And it was said, ki, nahi, we got some benefits, we got some government schemes running, we won the vendorship agreement, therefore it was, so such kind of situations are happening. When I went and I said, ki, sir, why don't you get it operated? He says, like, abhi tak vendor ne na iska handover nahi kiya hai, so we are waiting for that. So some things at our end also, we have to be fast enough for them to make it operational. So dono sides ka hai, we are seeing a very good traction in those. Yes? Yeah. Any more? I would like one more question somewhere. Feel motivated, sir. Mani sir has been a very good audience since yesterday. I have noticed him multiple times. Huh? Okay.
That Japan, some city you were mentioning quickly, very small place.
No, it was a name. It's a name called. It's used to identify businesses, you know, who are small but they're very efficient and they have certain values how they operate. So that is called Mittelstand. Mittelstand.
Okay. A lot of questions have been going. I would like to say a small rapid fire, one word answers only. Okay. Can I have the mic? Okay, sir, to you. So I really would want a single word or a single liner answers to it. And it has to move fast. We want to move so that we go for a good closure. So rapid fire closing questions is, one technology Indian businesses should prioritize first.
AI.
AI, okay. To you, Prasanna. Data, okay. Biggest ERP adoption challenge in India?
Budget.
Price.
So both of them I agree. Cloud ERP or on-prem, where is the market heading?
Cloud.
Both agree for cloud. One industry 4.0 trend business, which businesses cannot ignore.
Can you please pardon?
One industry 4.0 trend, which businesses cannot ignore.
Productivity.
Efficiency.
Hey, this is like a setting, huh? One says.
No, it is true.
We have same thought process.
Okay, interesting. So industry things alike, huh? AI in ERP, is it a hype or a real business value?
Hype.
Yet to be real business value.
Acha, yet to be. This was a very diplomatic answer. I try to bring something because we have an elaborate questions going around, but just for the fun of it. So this is where we sum up our today's session for this panel. Thank you for being a good panelist here. I think audience also was very, Mudassir, thank you again. So, because you asked the question, I'll give you that highlight. Please do connect with him. Mani sir, thank you for being a good audience. I would like to see you for further sessions also. You have good questions always going around. I'm intentionally asking you guys to participate because we will have a good interactive sessions going around. So, signing off for now, Pawan More for panelists here. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot. Now I will request Mr. Pawan More, who is a moderator of this panel discussion, to felicitate all the panelists. First of all, Mr. Kalpesh Bhausar, who is a Director Cloud9 ERP Technology Private Limited. Give a big hand to Mr. Kalpesh Bhausar. He shared their very valuable knowledge. Also, we are going to felicitate Mr. Prasanna Amnan, MD of Limendo India. Again, I will request Mr. Pawan More to felicitate Mr. Prasanna Amnan. And again, on behalf of Exponomics Events Private Limited, we'll request Dr. Prakash Munde to do come on the dais and felicitate Mr. Pawan More, who is the moderator for this panel discussion. Yesterday also, he conducted all the panel discussions, as well as today, the whole day, he is going to actively the role of moderator for this panel discussion. And one group photo, please. Thanks a lot, all the panelists. And now I will request Mr. Kalpesh Bhausar to be on the stage because he is a next keynote presenter. Mr. Kalpesh Bhausar is going to present their lecture, share their knowledge on the topic of transformation scale, that is lessons from global enterprise. So Mr. Kalpesh Bhausar is a Director Cloud9 ERP Technologies Private Limited. You are requested to deliver your speech. Presentation hai aapka? Okay, yeah. If you want to go in the middle.
Good afternoon. It might be very boring to hear me 2 times. Yeah, but we'll keep it interesting. I'll not take a lot of time. So I am Kalpesh Bhausar, founder of a ERP named as PM Track, like production and material tracking. So, and our company name is Cloud9 ERP Technologies. So we, as the name suggests, we implement ERP softwares in medium and small scale industries mainly. So when it comes to transformation to scale, means for the MSME, the transformation is not as big as any OEM. So for them, it is more important when it comes to the transformation. It can be across their multiple plants. It can be across multiple GST numbers under the same group company. So this is what the limitation of scaling for an MSME industry is. But still, they are facing a lot of challenges when it comes to the actual scaling up of ERP across the multiple the organizations which comes under their same group company. So the one and the foremost biggest challenge for any ERP or any manufacturing industry or any kind of business is to choose the right ERP. So this is where the thing starts, like exploring the new systems, then hiring the best vendors, finding out the best SMEs to work in lines with the organizations as well as the service providers in order to ensure the timelines are meet up, the requirements are getting fulfilled. So this is one of the big challenge where the industries have to decide for the right technology and the right ERP partner in this. So for this, there has to be a clear strategy or a clear statement like why an organization needs to implement a ERP system. So if this why is not clear, then the ERP is never going to be a success in the system. So this is how, this is the basic, very basic when it comes to the selection of ERP as well as starting off with this journey of scaling up the business in this. So means when you say your strategy should be clear is why you are implementing an ERP system. Like, is it for the inventory control? Or is it for your supply chain optimization? Or is it for IoT integration? Maybe your old vendor is not supporting for this technology. Or there can be a number of problem statements. So it is very important to jot down all the things for which the organization feels there needs to be an ERP system. So there has to be a clear strategy. Then what we have seen as a service provider from our perspective is, whenever the company plans to buy an ERP system, there are a lot of demos which are taken into this. And this only creates confusion and increases the confusion with the manufacturing organizations. Like the owners are totally confused to buy or take the decisions. So whenever it comes to an adoption of ERP, it is more important. Like none of the ERP is 100%. If you say there are shortcomings in the system, and so it is very important to just find the right player who will ensure the right kind of services when it comes to the ERP system implementation. You can't find a 100% right product in any kind of market fit. Like it's a myth. Like any ERP product will fulfill all issues in the organization. None of the product is going to make or give it 100% in this. So, so you means many people overthink when it comes to the selection of the software or the ERP software. So there has to be a clear strategy, like find the right supplier who has experience in implementing the ERP across similar kind of industries, and you can simply adopt those service providers in this. Then what I have seen particularly is when it comes to the implementation of the ERP in the organization, in Indian market especially, there is only the product cost which is considered. There is no cost given to the implementation of the product. Whereas if you see trends in US as well as European countries, there is a lot of investment done in the implementation of the ERP. So if my ERP cost is X, the implementation cost is 2X. So why I am emphasizing on this is even we have couple of failed ERP implementations, and when we did the root cause analysis of this is, there is no ownership in the organization. And they haven't involved any third party or any subject matter expert to implement the ERP in the organization only because of the cost. So when it comes to the implementation of ERP, it is very important to have a separate budget for the implementation of the ERP. And there is a very big gap when it comes to actual after the actual go live of the ERP. So what I have observed in my journey is we have implemented ERP in more than 400 manufacturing organizations now. So हम अच्छे हैं, हम कर देते हैं changes. So we are a very customer centric company. So many of you might be facing this issue कि यार कस्टमर के साथ रिलेशन टिकाऊं या मैं मनी मांगूं उससे. So many times we have to be customer centric, but at the same time we cannot completely miss the budgets of the ERP and उसको सर्विस ही देते रहे. So उसके लिए बहुत important है कि प्रायर फंड पे कस्टमर को you should say कि whatever scope which we are defining for the ERP, you have to tell him consider it as only 80%, and 20% will come after actual go live, and you should be ready to invest in that 20%. So only if you do this, then only the ERP implementation can be successful. या फिर वो half-hearted implementation हो जाएगा, and it will be difficult to get the money and satisfy the customer in this. So this is also a very important aspect, like there has to be a considerable investment in implementation as good as the product cost in this, which is missed in the Indian manufacturing industry mainly. Then बहुत से बार क्या होता है, to sell the product we misguide the customer many of times with the timelines as well as the budget of the ERP. कुछ नहीं, बाद में देख लेंगे, बाद में आ जाएगा कस्टमर से. So this is what the thought process is. We are in a very competitive environment where there means customer today is very cost centric. So if I hype my cost, मैं बोल दूँ उसको this will be my cost, and if I know my competitor is offering at this cost, तो definitely I know there कि मैं business lose करने वाला हूँ. तो in this scenario I have to do a lot of compromise on the timelines, क्योंकि I have seen if I tell my timeline for ERP implementation in 6 months, तो my customer like a prospect will say ये तो 2 महीने में करके दे रहा है. So I cannot be on 6 months. I have to tell him 2 months. Whereas it's a reality कि ERP implementation is going to take 6 months. So means in order to implement it in a proper way, that time has to be anticipated and that much time has to be given. So we have to be very clear in terms of timeline in order to make it a success. Means we have to convince the customer in such a way कि वो convince भी हो जाए कि definitely it is going to take time. अगर कोई मुझे 2 महीने में बोल के दे रहा है तो it is not going to happen. So in this way we should be able to convince the customer. Considering the complexity of product again, sometimes the implementations are very easy क्योंकि it's a straightforward implementation, but there are certain complex projects. So for that there has to be a very right timeline as well as budget given to the customer. तो उसको scale up करने में थोड़ा easy होगा in the organization. So many of the organization consider this as a IT project like ERP implementation. But this is basically the behavioral transformation of the organization completely, if you say. जैसे now see, now the trend has completely changed. Even when we get the customer, he is using some or the other ERP. But for very small organizations where there is no data entry kind of tools, or he's using Excel, so for them it is very important means to make their people understand कि this everything is possible only if you are going to do the data entry in the ERP or you are going to use it in the right manner. So this knowledge has to be passed on to the particularly to the customer. Like it's not an IT project, it's not only implementation of tool, but you'll have to religiously do the data entry in the ERP so that it will be a success in this. And then we have to convince our stakeholders who are involved in the implementation of the ERP, like how this implementation is going to transform the organization. And many a times there is a resistance from the team to implement any kind of systems, but it takes time for ERP to get fully implemented in the organization and get benefits out of the system. So utne time ke liye there has to be a proper hand holding, or there has to be that period given to the organization ताकि वो data से actual outcome जो है, even our people will feel like really this is a useful tool. It takes time for that thing, for the transformation. So then there again has to be a risk assessment, which is mostly not considered when it comes to the scaling up of any organization with an ERP system. Risk in the sense कि many a times what happens is when the directors are involved in the project, ERP implementation project, they don't know that thin line कि इसके आगे जाएंगे तो ये product fail हो जाएगा. Or many times the young generation today is very clear कि what has to be in the ERP and what has to be out of the ERP. See, no ERP will 100% replace your Excels. There are certain areas which are very legacy based systems है जो वैसे ही चलने वाले हैं. So that clarity has to be given कि what should be a part of an ERP and what we cannot implement in a ERP system. So there are limitations from technology perspective as well. So this clarity has to be given in this. So risk assessment is very important. So when it comes to scaling, so I'll just summarize this. What is more important is firstly finding the right product for the right fit of the business from the manufacturing perspective. From the service provider perspective, it is very important to give the right timelines and the budgets, otherwise the project fails miserably. In terms of the service provider thinks कि service देते जा रहे हैं, पैसा तो नहीं आ रहा है, या फिर जो पैसा आना चाहिए था उतना भी नहीं आ रहा है, and we are in losses. So for that clarity has to be very much given to the provider. Then after the implementation, the change management, like बहुत से ERP stagnant हो जाते हैं. So there is no dynamism in the ERP system. Like even our customers are facing the same issue. Like we get a call from the customer, यार AMC मांग रहे हो बहुत दिनों से, but कुछ change तो नहीं दिख रहा है software में. So there is a mix of customers. Some customer wants change, some customer don't like any kind of changes in the ERP. So we have to identify key people who like dynamism in the system, Now we have few customers, एक भी field access आ गया, ज़्यादा आ गया screen के ऊपर, so they are confused. I don't want this. Why you are introducing this? Even if some add-on dashboard is added, so there वहाँ पे problem होता है to the customer. So we have to very clearly clearly have a proper strategy when it comes to the change management as well. कि कितने लोगों को ये change affect करेगा and how this change has to be rolled out to different set of customers. So this is also very important in this. So like for MSME, it is always a challenge to scale up based on the their resources, what they have. But still, it's a need of the organization today to scale up. Like they can adopt systems which are running in the OEMs basically. Like if you say Maruti Suzuki, MSIL particularly, so they are doing maze audit at their customers as well, at their supply chain, complete supply chain. And you have to be a green supplier in order to successfully deliver the material to the OEM as well as the tier 1 vendors. So this is a very perfect example wherein even the small organization today are feeling a need to have a system wherein they can monitor the forum changes which are happening in the organization and give the right set of data to the customer in order to be as a green supplier in this. So this is all about it, like the scaling of the organization as well as the systems in the organization is a mandatory need now. So any questions? Yeah. See, there are now so firstly तो उसका रहता है कि we are giving you an AMC contract. There is a contract. Do it free of cost. So we have to firstly identify ki what kind of change it is and how much man hours it is going to take to implement the change. And if it's really a complicated thing, then we charge the customer for that. So certain things which requires very less man day are delivered free of cost, and for the complicated things there is a contract with the customer. Anything which is going to take time, again it's a mutual thing. They tell कि आप 3 दिन बोल रहे हो, ये तो 1 दिन में हो जाएगा. So these kinds of statements are also there. But again, we have to charge the customer for the additional effort which we are putting in the ERP implementation. So both kinds of things can come, like free of charge as well as paid one. Yeah. Yeah. So it's not scaling up the ERP system, it is scaling up the organization with an ERP system. Yeah.
I'm using ERP solution.
Yes.
It's more than 10 or 10 years.
Right, right.
Okay, now I'm planning to go like migrate to new technology.
Right, right,
Okay, say I want to change entirely reporting system.
right.
So it's what? It's a change. You'll suggest change or completely go for a new ERP system.
See, depends on the service provider again. So if your ERP is dynamic enough and your service provider is ready to do those kinds of changes which you expect from the system, you can continue with the same vendor. Or it also depends on how the ERP is structured currently. Like if your ERP is running in silos, so you can have more integration in the ERP, and it's basically an organization's decision. Means dealing for last 10 years, you might be knowing whether the service provider is capable enough to deliver what we need in this system. So either you will need to change the ERP service provider or the product. If it's an open source system, you can change the provider in order to get better services from some other provider. Yeah. All right, fine. Thank you.
Hello, hello. Okay, so there will be in the next session, which is a keynote session by Mr. Ganesh Chafikar, founder and CEO of Exhaustor Global Service Private Limited. In this keynote session, he will be addressing us about the transforming MSMEs with open source ERPs solutions. So I would like to invite Dr. Ganesh, Mr. Ganesh Chafikar sir on the stage. Thank you. Vedant, please. Yeah.
Hello, good afternoon. So he prefixed my name as a doctor, so I think I have to do the doctorate, sure. And the second is Exacure Global. So people generally don't. थोड़ा echo होता है. हाँ? Okay. आता येतोय का? आता ऐकू येत नाही. Okay. So the second thing what he has done that the Exacure. So actually this name has given by my wife and everybody is still, including me. I was also trying for 1 month to correct the pronunciation. Anyway, thank you so much for inviting me here. लोक कमी आहेत म्हणजे गर्दी कमी आहे पण दर्दी लोक असतील असं आय एम कन्सिडरिंग. Okay, so my name is Ganesh. In ERP, you can say ecosystem from last 15-20 years. Different ERPs I have implemented in construction domain earlier, then manufacturing, then Salesforce I was doing. And then I found out the very interesting thing that is, open source ERP. That is the ERP Next from Frappe. And believe me, that product is from India, from Mumbai, and nobody is so much aware about the ERP Next. So my presentation, we are just focusing on the, actually how MSME is struggling for ERP. And I think the Bhausar has covered so many things, and as a SME, MSME, people want to implement everything on the ERP, but sometimes it creates really a challenge. Okay, so my second slide is MSME growth and how the smart ERP solution works. So this is the actually some numbers, some key factors of MSME. MSME is actually a backbone of the Indian economy, where you can say 60 million MSMEs in India, 30% GDP contribution, and 110 million plus job created. So this is a very interesting part, but they are still struggling with a good system, good ERP, good overall things. Yeah, what do you want? मला असं वाटतं एकदम घरगुती प्रोग्राम चालू आहे. किंवा मला माईक दिला तरी चालेल.
वॉल्यूम इको 0 करू. ओके हां ठीक आहे बघा आता.
हॅलो. माईकची गरज नाही आहे ना. ठीक आहे. Okay, fine. So this is the right now trend, or this is the data of MSMEs. So which is very important part of the Indian economy, but still they are really struggling. So how it looks like as a MSME owner every day in the morning. He is a single man, he-man sort of person who does accounts, inventory, customers handling, employees handling, koi aa raha hai, koi nahi aa raha hai. Marketing also he has to do. Compliance है, sometimes PF का notice आ गया, sales tax का, GST का notice आ गया. So he is the only person who is running at every place. So he has a very basic expectation. I should have a ERP, or I should have some system which can be handling my basic things, not something miracle. So that is his basic the requirement or the expectations. Okay. Now this chaos, like every day morning he received some WhatsApp messages कि delivery नहीं हुआ है, transport पहुंचा नहीं है, and everything. And then his day start like this and day ends with the same chaos. So again, when he decide to buy ERP, there is again confusion. Again, the Bhausar has covered that point, that he is exploring so many different solutions. But if you can see the MSME's overall background, they are not maybe the IT background. They don't have the IT background. So ERP partner, he should has a consultative approach. Understand the things, what he's actually doing, not just pushing the product what he has. So feature overloaded, hidden cost, he doesn't know server buy करना है या नहीं करना है, cloud पे चाहिए या नहीं चाहिए, cloud पे safe है या नहीं चाहिए, safe नहीं है. So many different challenges what he is always facing. And vendor lock-in, एक बार इससे काम कर दिया तो बस अटक गए. Something very basic challenges is he is facing. And then it comes to the traditional ERP versus the open source, which is I'm going to talk today. So expensive licenses, there's a license cost. Now I remember one story from the customer from Satara. He was using SAP B1 and he said, after 1 year I have decided to start with the timesheet or job card. But SAP people said that I want to buy, you have to buy some more licenses. So he said the job was feeling the just job card is very small but very important, and then he realized that he cannot buy more licenses because it was expensive. Per user cost is always burning, but everybody will experience that. And rigid workflow. He always explained that I want to do like this. I don't have that much, maybe sometime approvers or that much workflows I don't require. I want a simple solution because I need to complete my procedures. I need to complete my task. So these are all, traditional ERPs struggling with the MSME's owner. Now this guy is very important, Rishabh Mehta. He is from Mumbai, who has started ERP or Frappe company 18 years back. He has a struggling, or he was watching the problem about his dad manufacturing company. They were manufacturing earlier some bed manufacturing. And at the very 18 years or 20 years back, he has started coding. And he realized the problem that whatever I am preparing for my dad's company can be utilized for another bed company or any manufacturing company. So that concept, he was very much, yesterday also he was there and everybody was telling why you are doing open source. There's a big opportunity. So he was a very clear mind that all code which is I have developed or I have written can be easily or freely available. That is the concept of open source. And that took 18 years to reach out to so many people, because he never believed on the so much, spending a marketing budget, but he believed on the product quality, he believed on the references. Now, if you can, I will just keep some slides immediately, and I will just show you some very interesting customers he has in the last 18 years. I'll just again come back to the original slides. But if you can see the Geo Finance, Zerodha, I think everybody is using Zerodha for trading their shares and everything. These are the earlier players who believe on the Frappe open source platform. They build up the solution. Blinkit is also right now using. So these are the different industry, manufacturing, distribution, services, food. Everybody is using now the open source ERP, that is ERP Next. And it is not up to the India. They have already reached the global. 20,000 plus customers are available. Okay, so this is a very, you can say, a transforming journey of open source when there are 100 players are available on the license cost. Okay, again, I will skip the, I will come to the first slide. So this is a man who has seen that vision, who has believed on that vision, and still, कल भी मैंने अगर उनको बोला कि यार you should spend big amount on the marketing, but he said the product has value, people will come to us. Okay, so what is the advantage? What is the open source? So sometimes people has a myth, open source is my data is available on the server. So the two things is generally, in the software, one is a database and the second is a code or the actually application. So whatever I am writing today as an open source developer, I can deposit that code into the GitHub, that is a depository, open source, and anybody can want to that, the same type of application they want to see or develop, they can really easily copy that things from the depository. So that is the beauty of open source. And earlier people were little bit stuck, it will really going to work, so it's really working right now. So there is no license cost. So in now the customer view where we replace SAP V1, they are now using 70 people. Because maybe the one user has only 10 minutes work to do every day. But he has that user license, it doesn't have a user license problem. So there is no license cost, unlimited user, full data ownership. Now, ERP Next is available on the Frappe cloud, but if you feel that I want to install on my own server, that is possible. It means the software is a free of cost. There is no, only if you want to implement. So many people are taking one Python developer and implementing sometime, but we recommend that you should have an expertise to implement to workflows or understanding your requirement. Complete flexibility. They have around 15, 20 modules, but if you feel I want to build a small timesheet module, or I want to build something as a maintenance module, that is easily possible on the Frappe. So there is no limitations to build any solution. So, when you buy software or when you buy any system or ERP, you should have a vision that it can be run at least for next 10 years, not 20, 50, 30, 40 years, but at least 10 years I can see the sustainability of the system. Community innovation, so Frappe or open source community is a big community, what we also observe as a partner. People are asking their question, people are keeping their bugs or their inquiries on the community, and other people are really helping. So this is a community-driven system. No vendor lock-in. This is again a big problem MSME is facing. I bought from this partner, now what can I do with this system if I don't have a good relation or I'm not convinced his rates or the cost? So there is no vendor lock-in system. Frappe has around 200 partners. You can go anywhere, you can check. Or if you have some friend who knows the Python or basic implementation things, you can actually go with that partner. So you don't have a lock-in for the partners. Okay, so why ERP Next for MSME? 100% open source, India ready, GST compliances and everything is there, scalable and modern. Now so many people ask me whether this is for the big companies or the small company. So ERP Next is for everyone. I have some customer who has only 2 or 3 users, and you have already seen the the customer like Zerodha, they have a multiple, maybe 1,000 user. Blinkit, they have 1,000 user. Fin they are using, they have maybe more than 1,000 users. So scalability problem is not there. Now suppose if I'm buying the software as a 5 users company, if it increases to 25, 50, it is aramse possible. There is not a problem. So that is the advantage of ERP Next. Okay, again how ERP Next cost over the time. So if you can take any other player, they have a AMC, they have a server cost, they have a user cost, but if you can see the ERP Next, if you implement it properly, you don't need anything. Next 2-3 years, if you don't need anything to customize, or if you have one person as a champion, we generally call from the organization, then you don't need training as well. So there is absolutely no cost unless until you are on the Frappe cloud, then only you are paying the monthly rent of the Frappe cloud. Okay, so it's scenarios are, I already mentioned that it's not only for the one type of business or business vertical, but it's for the manufacturing, trading, textile, services, all different types of vertical is already on the ERP Next platform. This is again typical that Excel, manual follow-up and everything, you go with the system of ERP. One dashboard, complete visibility. So there are so many dashboard. I'm not showing the ERP demo, but our contacts and our stall is there. So if you have a time, 5-10 minutes, you can just visit to the stall and see the different functionality of the ERP Next. How Exacure simplify your ERP journey. So we have around 25 plus consultant who understand your requirement. So in earlier slide also I explained that the understanding the requirement is very important. So unless until you are convinced that your partner has understood your requirement, then only you can actually successful implementation will happen. So understand your requirement, write modules, then the smart implementation, and then training and the go live thing. So this is the approach we are generally follow. Okay. Why MSME must digitize now? Of course, competition is increasing, margin is shrinking. So you have something in handy, some tool where you can see the different dashboard, the different data pointers, where you can actually take some decision. Why you need a data to take some decision, very strong decisions. Okay, so this is our customer. We have a 2 to 3 years old partner in ERP Next or Frappe community, and we have almost done some chemical manufacturing, IT company also. It's a very nice example to give the, Infrabit is actually SAP B1 partner, but they have a 600 user. So they built HRMS and timesheet module with us. And we were also surprised, like, we are supporting SAP company, SAP partner company. Some textile, we have done good products in the textile where very complicated process, the labor sheet, the cutting and all those stuffs, we have easily managed with the Frappe framework. These are already I have mentioned, this is the, the Frappe customers from last 18 years. We already mentioned there are 200 more partners in different countries in the world, and 20,000 plus customers are already on the Frappe and ERP Next. So that's it from me. It's very fast presentation. If you have any question, please go ahead. Yeah, and visit our stall. It's A12. We are Exacure. Yeah. It's a very difficult question to answer as a standard answer, but it's depend. We generally recommend in Exacure, after seeing so much failure in the different companies, we believe or we recommend to the company that you should start with the standard module. So when people are starting implementation, in MSME mostly, the BRD is not working so much effectively. So we generally introduce all the modules and we give the access to the all users to start using, and let's have a hands-on the system, and then we start the configuring and the customization. So if you can say around 20-25 companies, number of employees company, we have implemented in 3 to 4 months. Now the trading company, we have a good experience around 1.5 months we implemented. Recently we closed one Canada-based company. They wanted to implement a small e-commerce platform. We have done in just month time. But they were aware that what they want exactly. So the requirement is very important. So this is always a challenge. Yeah, if you sign up the BRD, still people will say, no, I need this also, this I have considered in a standard ERP only. Why ERP is not giving standard dashboard or KPIs sometimes people are expecting, which is generally, not available in the standard. So answer is maximum 3-4 months, but depending on the complexity or implementation. We are not right now applying any AI. Only we have applied at some CRM level, where generally people, if I received the lead, what I do, I go on website, I go on Zoba, I check the company's details. So we try to apply some AI, but not so much, believe me. Yeah, they have. But finally, you need some type of charge APIs, different APIs of the different AIs. Actually, we call as a AI is required at every place, but we are, as a partner, we are always facing the basic implementation challenges. Pehle basic to karne do, then we will go with some advances. Now in one company from Kanpur, we have implemented for the textiles. So they were asking us from the day one that we need a rating system, that how, for the vendor rating system. So we said, let's complete the first phase of the implementation. And now in the second phase, we have implemented that. So such things are really possible, but we try to implement the basic things first. Yeah, any questions? I hope everybody is convinced about the ERP Next and they will buy the ERP Next now. Yeah, please go ahead.
Changes, how does it gonna get implemented? So you as a partner will help us to do those version changes on the software.
Yeah. So yes. So if you have a standard implementation, then you can go ahead and implement or upgrade. Right now, the ERP Next has a 16th version. it's in the, you can say 80-90% is ready, and still there are some changes are coming up. But if you are on 15 and you have done some customization, heavy customization, then you need a partner support for upgradation. If you have a standard thing, then it's absolutely no problem. You can upgrade, like just you are upgrading your phone from different versions. I hope. Thank you so much. Very less crowd, but nice questions. Thank you so much. Yeah, please.
धन्यवाद. Mr. Ganesh Safekar, he is a founder and CEO, Executor Global Service Private Limited. He shared their experiences and knowledge to all of you. On behalf of Exponomics Events Private Limited, I will request Mr. Munde sir to felicitate Mr. Ganesh Safekar. Transforming MSMEs with open source ERP solutions. या विषयावरती त्यांनी आपल्या सर्वांशी संवाद साधला, आपल्याला अवगत केलं. साफेकर सर, आपलं मनःपूर्वक अभिनंदन आणि धन्यवाद ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ एक्सपोनॉमिक्स इव्हेंट्स प्रायव्हेट लिमिटेड. थँक्यू. धन्यवाद. After this, exactly at sharp 2 p.m., we are arranging here panel discussion, and panelists are Reshma Pense, Yusuf Ansari, and Ganesh Sathe, as well as Kanhaiya Kale. All the panelists are discussing about ERP for manufacturing SMEs. This is very important lecture, important panel discussion, because related to manufacturing sector. ERP for manufacturing SMEs, customization, integration, and ROI. So all of you request to do come sharp 2 p.m. here again for the panel discussion. Thank you.